every investor is going to have their own buy box. And as a wholesaler, as you start to build your list of buyers and as you start to network with the local active buyers, I call them your A-list buyers. I don't really want to learn the buy box of B and C list buyers, but my A-list buyers, I want to know exactly what they want. That way, when I get a new deal, I first go to my A-list or VIP buyers and I say, hey, before I take this to all of my buyers, before I open this up to the public, I'm letting you have a first look at it, but I need to know by the end of the day if you want this because it's going to be gone tomorrow kind of idea, right? Urgency. But I only do that with my A-list buyers that I understand and know their business model, what they want. And if you ask them like, hey, what's your buy box? So I make sure I only bring you stuff that you're interested in. Most of them will have that clearly defined and they'll send over a PDF or they'll give you a bullet list of like what they look for. So it's a great question to ask your active A-list type of buyers in the markets that you wholesale.
And so for new dispo guys that we meet, and women, of course, people that we meet who are really doing the job on dispo, that's a reasonable question. If you got a buy box, you can let me know what you're looking for. I'll be on the lookout for it, so I know that I might be able to send some things your way. Right?
And then don't just ask it, but actually follow it, track it, understand it. In some of the active markets where I buy, I'll have, a wholesaler say, okay, what's your buy box? Okay, I'm looking for this. And then they'll just keep sending me crap that doesn't fit my buy box. And it pisses me off more than anything because you're wasting my time now, right? So if you're going to work with an A-list buyer, honor their buy box. Don't send them something that doesn't fit it. And then it also gives you a great reason to call them and they'll take your call because they trust you now. So they'll take your call and you'll say, hey, I got one that fits. You better get on this, baby. It's going to go fast. And I'll have A-list buyers buy properties from me sight unseen because they know I'm not fudging the numbers. They know I'm being honest about value, honest about repairs, because I'm very protective of me as a wholesaler.
Reputation.
Don't ever be a mudslinger. A mudslinger just throws stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Those type of wholesalers quickly lose any kind of clout in the market because people stop trusting their numbers.
What happens if you tell an investor, let me know by the end of the day if you want this, and then you don't get anyone else that's interested, and then you have to go back to the individual that you told they only had until the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, I use that as an example. Don't say that if you don't actually think that's true. I would say something like, hey, I think this is priced really aggressively. I think this is a hot one. When I put this out to the market, I think it's going to go really quick. I'm letting you know ahead of time to give you a day to make a decision on it. But just so you know, tomorrow I'm going to open this up to my other buyers and it might go quick. So you could say it in a way to where you're not, and don't say that if you don't know or don't think so. If you're confident in what you're doing and you're confident in your deal, then you should be able to talk to buyers and say, this is an awesome deal. You should jump on this. You want to have integrity around what you're saying. So don't say it if you're going to come back with egg on your face and look like an idiot tomorrow when no one's interested. You might even say, hey, I know you're one of the top buyers in town. I think I got an awesome deal. I'm not real sure. Can you take a look at it? Can you tell me if you think this is a smoking deal? I think it's a smoking deal, but can you take a look? And you can even come at it that way, that almost like, hey, I think I've got a great deal. Can you tell me if I do? Just be honest. If that's the honest truth, be honest. Here's the thing a lot of wholesalers think. A lot of wholesalers think if you come across like you don't know what you're doing, you'll lose credibility. It's not true. You'll lose credibility if you're lying or dishonest or not transparent about what you're doing. That's how you lose credibility. Like we did a deal a little while ago and it was a mobile home, but it was attached on the real estate and there were other comps of mobile homes. So we called up some buyers and I said to the buyer, I said, look, this is in Florida. I said, look, this is a mobile home. I've got comps here of other similar mobile homes. It's on an acre of land here. I think the value is 375 or whatever it was, but I'm not totally sure because I've never really done something like this over there. I was just open, like, I think it's a deal. What do you think? Do you do something like this? And that created way more respect than me, all confident about something I'm not confident about.